That's my response to a tweet. Mr. Tat, my response to a tweet. Well, the question is today, how do these liberals think this Iran decision is really going to bring about peace? How do these liberals think this Iran decision is really going to bring about peace? Wow, good question. Well, here's my response. Peace is not what these liberals are seeking. Liberals have a distorted concept of peace. It's more about control. Like I said, you got to remember, if you know your history, Democrats were slave owners, and they never wanted to give it up. A slave owner is a control freak. That's what they are. They're freaks for control. That's what liberals want, is control. What they are really seeking is chaos. They know the deep, rich history of the Constitution. You know how the Bible says the devil knows the word? Well, the Democrat knows the Constitution. And they have a deep, utter contempt for the Constitution. They manufacture crisis so that they can hit their pitch for control. They need chaos. What they're doing is creating the chaos that Israel is going to respond to so that it can appear out of control. They're creating the chaos of bringing over these unvetted, quote-unquote, refugees so that they can start killing American citizens, which will create that chaos. So our Second Amendment right lovers will protect their families, and then there'll be a gun war in the streets of America while we're fighting terrorism that they imported to our shores. That's that chaos. That's all they know. Let me give you an example. Look at the state of our young black males. Matter of fact, let's just look at the state of young people below the age of 25. If you go back into history, the group NWA, that's the N-words with attitudes, that ushered in a whole different context of music. They were notorious for creating the phrase, F the police. They were gangsters and thugs, drug dealers, wannabes, whatever, but they were perpetuating crime to the point to where they had an utter disdain for the police, and they put it into music. This is like 25 some odd years ago. So a young person under the age of 25, F the police and the disdain for authority is all they knew. They didn't have a different kind of music. They might have had gospel if their parents could get them to listen to it, but this is the culture that they grew up in. And so now what you're seeing is a reaction based on all they know. Disrespect. In some warped kind of way, they think being disrespectful is a sign of maturity, manhood. It's cool. The person is not being this polite and everything, they're lame. But the one that can cuss out an adult, cuss out a pastor, forget the police, forget Jesus, the one that can function like that, that's the one who gets the kudos. That's the one who gets the girl. That's the one who has the nice car. That's the one that has all the jewelry they iced out. So guess what? They're benefiting off of chaos. Liberals and Democrats is no different. That's all they know. Socialism, taking from the rich, giving to the poor, and their warped sense of thinking is all they know. They were raised and bred by it. They need chaos in order to create the utopia of being the ultimate slave master over the world. So they have to create World War III so that they will be the ones in control. And it starts right here in America. They're not interested in peace. They're interested in control. What they've been functioning is how they can puppeteer the Republicans around just by the threat of racism. But there's something interesting going on with these Republicans. Because there is also a part of history where that slave master Democrat switched parties and they turned Republican. I'm thinking that the reason what's coming home to roost now, what's being exposed now, is that Democrat in Republican clothes. Because that's the only way I can explain how they are letting this gentleman run roughshod over our country. And constantly pigeonholing themselves into a place where America is going to lose at every turn. Mitch McConnell and John Boehner are closet Democrats. That's what's happening here. Because we know history, some of them switch parties. And so in the response to your tweet, the Iran decision is just another cog in the wheel to bring about the chaos that they need in order for them to be the ultimate slave master over the world. Black Lives Matter, all this kind of foolishness, killing cops. Don't forget, Barack Obama was raised and started his political career in the living room of people who blew up the Pentagon and blew up police stations. They had an utter disdain for police, period. They just figured out a way to sucker some black folks into being the ones on the front line of this foolishness so they can come in and here we come to save the day from these savage acting black folk. And mix that with the money, we have a group of sellouts. And we're the ones being sold. It's not about peace. It's about the ultimate liberal utopia. They get to be slave masters with the world's endorsement. Hey, I'm Phil Williams, and that's my response to this tweet on The Phil Williams Show.